Well, Todd, it's just over 2 months into life as a Blackburn Rovers player. How's it been so far?
Yeah, it's had its ups and its downs already. Obviously came in, the team were in a really good place and we're playing some good stuff and had some good results. So obviously it was tough to have a little drop off in form, but I think over the last 2-3 games I think we've been playing quite well. So to not get all the points we felt like we deserved was a little bit disappointing, but we pieced it together and that was good to see.
Does it feel like it's been more the results that haven't come of late rather than the performances? I think back Watford and Stoke, for example, has certainly deserved more from those games than we got.
Yeah, I think Watford, we were definitely the better team. I think if we score against Sheffield United, I think it changes the game as well. I know this is football, so it's easy to say, but I think losing 2-0 to Stoke was probably one of those games where you could play that game 10 times and we'd have won it 9 with how we played. So it's one of those things, it's football, it's the Championship, but it was great to then go to Cardiff and put in an impressive performance, definitely.
How big was Cardiff, given it's an international break as well?
I think it was big for us as players, really. I think we needed that win. I think obviously it had been a couple of games since we had a win, so listen, I know the fans were obviously starting to get a little bit frustrated, but listen, when you're a player and you understand that we're playing the right way and we're starting to get better, because I think that's the important thing, it's getting better. It's not just going to happen overnight and you get all the results. It doesn't work like that. So no, it was important for everyone to get that win, definitely, to go into the break.
How good have the last few weeks and that last block of games been for you? You started every game from the October international break to the November one. Just how good has it been in terms of you getting to where you want to be with your form and fitness?
Yeah, no, I'm up to speed now with my fitness, definitely. I think I've been struggling for a couple of weeks now with some sort of illness that you can probably still hear in my voice. It's just struggling to go away, but yeah, I've not been at my 100% in that period, but I've been able to get a good enough version of myself out, and you know, I think it's really important now that I kick on and show people, hopefully soon, the full fit Todd.
Do you feel better for having the run of starts and the run of games? Does it really help you sort of build things up?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you can really be sort of judged on what you're doing and what your output is until you've had sort of 5 or 6 starts, really. I think you ask most professionals and they would probably say that, you know, coming off the bench is very different to starting a game, and yeah, I've got that under my belt now, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back.
You've hinted there's still more to come. I just wonder what you're like in terms of assessing your own game and your own performance. Are you quite self-critical, or
yeah, very.
How does it work?
Very. Like I say, obviously I've been struggling with illness over the last couple of weeks, so for me it's been a case of just getting out for the next game and trying to give everything I've got and give the best version of myself. I think, you know, once I've shifted that off, I think then I'll start to hone in on what I'm doing on the pitch. I think I've been solid. I think I've been trustworthy, and I think I've brought a technical aspect to my game. But you know, there's a lot more to come for me in the sense of outputs and bits like that. So I'm really looking forward to the games coming up.
I think we've seen the way you play. You want to entertain as well. Is that important to you, to the way you play your game?
Yeah, I think it's part of my DNA to play like that. I think I always play a little bit on the edge. Like you say, I like to entertain. That's kind of the way I've always been since I was a little kid. So I think it's really important that I keep that. I know exactly what it is I'm bringing to the team. I think the moment this happens every single season, you know, the moment you hit one, then you go on a run of scoring goals. So there's no pressure from my end on it. I know my ability, I know my quality, and I know obviously the chances will hopefully now start to come with my fitness, and I'll be able to put them away.
The fans will certainly sort of see the impact that you've made already. So how much more is there to come from Todd Cantwell?
Yeah, I think almost a little bit of a frustrating way for me. I think I've probably only hit about 70% so far. So obviously that can be deemed as good or bad for whoever you want, or whichever way you want to deem it. But I think that's an honest reflection. Like you said, I am always quite honest with myself. I've not been overwhelmed with what I've done so far, but I've also been quite proud of where I came from and how I wasn't training with a first team. I wasn't even, you know, with a team. So it took a little bit longer than I'd like to sort of build myself back up. But you know, the manager's been great with me. We've been very open, been very honest about where I'm at and where he sees me at. And you know, it was a real temptation to put me in really early, and you know, I wanted that as well. But you know, I really think I've been managed really well in that sense. So yeah, just really looking forward to the games coming back up now.
Have you been able to form a really good relationship with John and the rest of the lads already then?
Yeah, definitely. I think me and the manager sort of saw eye to eye instantly, really, which is probably the biggest reason why I came here. Obviously the way that we want to play, I think our 2 goals probably show you exactly how we want to play. Now, it's not always as easy as that, you know, to click your fingers and have it on, but for me personally, it will do the squad a great load of confidence, scoring goals like that and playing and putting in that performance away, because, you know, it shows that when we are patient with each other and we do trust each other a little bit more with the ball, I think that's when we can show our quality, and ultimately that's when we can beat teams.
What about away from the football? You've got a young family as well. It's not always easy moving from place to place and settling in. How has that process been?
It's been hard. I laughed about it with my family, and we said, you know, I didn't realise how much stuff I'd boxed up. So yeah, unboxing it all has not been so much fun. Obviously that is another factor. You know, you are trying to get back from training, you're trying to unwind, and you've got, you know, a box full of chores and you've got all sorts to do when you get back. So it's not been the most fun, but yeah, like I say, I feel a bit settled now. I've got a good relationship with everyone, and I'm really looking to kick on.
Do you think people appreciate that as well, that you've got other things going on in your life? You're not just a footballer, if you know what I mean?
Of course they don't, it's football. They've got no time for anything else. You know, you get judged on what you do on the pitch, and I don't really think anyone seems to care about anything else. So that is the nature of the beast. It can be beautiful, it can be whatever it can be, but at the moment I feel, you know, this block that I've got through and what I've had to go through physically and, you know, off the pitch, I think, you know, if I can do that, then it's really put me in a good place to kick on after.
And next block is a really long one as well. We're over the international breaks after this, aren't we? We're into the real sort of thick of this season. Just how big a spell is it up to and around the Christmas?
Yeah, really important. Really important. We'll get loads of games in a short space of time, loads of points to win. I think, like you say, you know, obviously we finished with a good win, and I think it's really important that when we come back, we start to realise we are a good enough team to compete this season, and, you know, that top six is probably as open as it's ever been from my understanding. So, listen, I think there's something for the fans to be excited about this year, for sure.
I was going to say, it certainly feels a wide open league this year. It's not like last year maybe when a couple of sides running away with it. Does it make it more interesting and more exciting almost to be part of because of that?
I think it makes it more exciting for the fans and for football fans in general. I think for players it gives you a bit of excitement as well, because, you know, you're early on in the season and you're looking, and, you know, you're 5 points from being in trouble and you're 5 points from being second or third. It's really the championship, if that makes sense. So listen, we've got to strap in and enjoy the journey, because it's going to be a bumpy one, that's for sure.